Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my interpretation of the special challenge that I issued here in Scrap Backwards. But it's also the 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And this is today's sketch. It's 3 stringy circles, horizontal line across, kind of under and over the circles, some embellishments and splatters here, a title here. No indication where a photo might go, but I see a little bit of mixed media behind the circles. So given that, and the fact that I was starting with my Scrap Backwards kit, I'll show you the thing that inspired all of this craziness I'm about to do. I saw this border strip on my starter sticker sheet. It looks like a road with the center median line. So I thought, whatever I do across here, that's going to be this horizontal line that goes across. So that got me thinking, what journey, big journey, did I want to document? And so that got me thinking about the biggest journey we took ever was, let's see if I can even find it in here, was the one where we retired, left our jobs and 40-year careers, and left Houston, which had been home for 33 years, and came to Georgia where the kids were. And so I printed this photo of that some friends of ours took. We met some friends in Houston for coffee and goodbyes as we drove our RV to Georgia. We had driven in a car to actually move on the day I retired because the family was with us for my retirement ceremony. But we rented a car and went back, and then picked up the RV, which we had been living in for several months because our house sold too soon. It sold before I was eligible to retire. So I printed this photo, and then I fussy cut it out, thinking I was maybe going to cut it into a circle, but I decided I'm going to use it like this. And then when I had that line, that border that looked like a road, I thought, oh, that's stencil. And this is a stencil that Sandy Reversky gave us at the retreat. It was for a part of a page kit for a project at the Scrapping Reflections retreat in Texas. And it's probably my favorite stencil I've ever had. I'm going to remove that and let you, maybe you can kind of see. It's a stencil of the world. It's the world in a stencil. So what I did before this, just so that it could dry, I kind of laid it about where I thought my circles would go. And I sprayed it with Dina Wakley Media gloss spray in white. And I let it dry kind of unevenly. Some of them have the spray marks, some are heavy and watery, and I didn't blot any of it up. It was like pulling teeth to sit here and not blot it up because I kind of wanted to. But I thought maybe a lot of this was going to get covered up anyway. I kind of want it there as a hint of what this is all about. And I will tell you that I began looking for some of the Calvinball elements, and then I reminded myself, no, you have to use your Scrap Backwards kit. And I realized I wasn't going to have everything in there. But one of the things they just added today to the Calvinball rules was a gnome and mushrooms. So I had this cut file of a gnome house, a little gnome domicile, and that got me kind of thinking. I hadn't backed it yet, but I kind of got the idea of putting it, because it kind of reminds me of the little 100-year-old house. When we took off on this day, we had no idea what was in store. We knew we were going to be taking care of Ava when her mom went back to work. She had just been born. This was in August. She was born in June. And so she was just a couple months old. And we knew we wanted to travel, and we knew that we wanted to be near the kids. We had a 100-year-old house that we had bought to renovate. It was right around the corner from where James and Nikki and the kids lived. And so we kind of knew we were off on some grand adventures. So hanging right next to this gnome house up on my clothesline of cut files was this sunflower. And that's one of the Calvinball points that you can get. And it's kind of John's mantra. I think a lot of our traveling was in search of sunflowers, and just like for me, it was in search of palm trees. So John was, our palm trees and sunflowers were kind of our things. So also with my cut files were a whole bunch of arrows from, and this cut file, and this cut file, I believe are all three from Creative Cuts Club, Redefine Creative. So I thought I'd do that, and then maybe I could fit this photo in. I don't know, maybe like that. That seems like it might work. And then I could kind of squeeze, I'll put the title down here, and I can squeeze Calvinball points in as we go along. So my three circular elements are the kind of circular arrow, the kind of circular gnome house, and the kind of circular sunflower. So hopefully that works for me. Let me get these things down now, and not much of the stencil is going to show through, like I said, once I started going this direction. I'm going to put this one down next. Glad I put the tape behind the photo in a good place there. I'm going to kind of put it right there. And the arrow kind of indicates that we're off to new adventures. Okay, that is not going to work right there. I'll just let that stay under, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue to hold that down, because I don't think there's any adhesive on the arrow. I'll put that there. Now this little guy, the scraps that I used to back it didn't go all the way to the end. So I need tropical greenery, and I need a gnome. And so I figure I could put something that gets me Calvinball points up in front of that. So, maybe I want this arrow up after all. Let me move it over just a tad to get more even spacing. Is that about right? Maybe I moved it a little too much. I'm not going to worry about it, because once I start adding things, Okay, so that seems to work. I'm going to put the glue maybe right there. And then here is the tropical greenery I thought I could use to maybe cover up that hole there. And I've got some foam tape behind it. Okay. Now, I have some Rosie Studio stamps with gnomes and hedgehogs and mushrooms, toadstools. So I can probably work with those. And I have some stamps here that are kind of, these are Tim Holtz, and Tim Holtz does such great phrases on his stickers and stamps. There's so many on here. See possibility everywhere, just one life, always take the scenic route, show the world your magic, don't forget to fly, I'm happiest when I'm with you, today is full of possible, with brave wings she flies, do what you love, collect beautiful moments, hold on tight to your dreams. No idea which one I'm going to use, but I'm going to use at least one somewhere on this page. Now, you can see the stenciling in the background, and it doesn't necessarily look like a map. And that's okay, because you and I know it is. I'm going to kind of pull that out. I'm going to go now, before I dip into these goodies, we'll see how much we can find in my kit. Now, I wanted to use this guy, and I was going to have him go under the house. So I'm actually probably just going to cut pieces off of it, then I can get to use it for something else later. So this is kind of my inspiration piece that keeps moving, which is not what I want it to do. I cut that too big. And let me put that right there. That can fit under there. And if it's not straight, that just indicates that we didn't travel a straight and narrow road to get there. Okay, this is moving around, and that's not making me happy. I thought I had glued it down, but apparently the glue didn't take. I'm gonna glue it onto the photo, and that should hold it in place. Okay, now the other side of this is I'm gonna go kind of from there to there, and that's gonna lead off the page. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it down. Okay, this guy is not sticking. What is the deal with things not sticking today? Okay, is there anything else on here that gets me a point, or that fits with the theme of the page. I know I get a point for a star, so there are several stars in here. And I'm going to pull this little yellow one, and I'm going to put it right there. And I may do some more up in that area. I like, it's time for an adventure, but live life today may be may speak to me more. Okay, and I've got this little pack your bags here, and I can maybe have that coming out from right there, and I'm going to do it up above the road. I'm going to kind of curl it up a bit. It won't stay once I put it in an album, but it's cute to start out with. So I think that's everything I want on here. I may come back for that word journey, but we'll see. On here, there are several things that are meaningful. We did take a grand road trip, and we did visit national parks. We didn't see anything in a convertible at the moment, but there's a little sticker here that doesn't belong, and I'm hoping I can get it off without messing. Oh, yeah, it came right off. It says, "This place." And I kind of like that, maybe right there, and I may want to put a little bit of foam behind it. Let me get the foam and see what I can do. What I'm planning to do is go through my kit and see how many points or embellishments I can get from my kit. I did use a couple papers from my kit, and the rest came from a scrap bin. This place, our little cottage, was just so cute. It was the American equivalent to a gnome house. I like Route A1A sign and the Redwood Highway and Interstate 35 signs. I think those are all roads we traveled in our various trips that we took over the years. And though they had nothing to do with this particular journey, they had to do with us. So I'm going to put them on here. And they don't get me Calvinball points. They just use some of my kit. Adventures Await also might be a nice title piece, so I'll kind of have that handy. On this one, where I've used most of the stuff up, I've got this piece of a claim ticket, and we know that ephemera that you've collected along the way gets you points. So I've got this piece of ephemera from the retreat, and I can put those together and kind of stick them really sort of hidden behind something else like that. There we go. Okay, that adds a little color to that corner, and it gets that piece of a ticket used. I like this little signboard that says explore more. And I thought maybe I could put it here. That looks okay. Let me put some foam behind it to lift it up a bit. I'd like to kill this sheet in the course of the month. It's one from a Mind the Scrap kit, and it has lots of really cute stuff. I really like this you, me, we. But I'm thinking I want to fussy cut it out. I like the gold border, and I may use that to get points on a future layout, so I'm not going to throw it away. In fact, once I cut this bit out of it, it kind of becomes a frame, right? So I'd get points for a gold and a frame. But here, and I'm going to put it back on the sheet in place. Here, I'm going to use it right there. Just kind of adding stuff to kind of fill the frame and the theme. Okay, here's one that has lots of cute stuff on it. Journey together, happy travels, itinerary for the for this particular trip. That was the itinerary. The house, heading to the house, was on the itinerary. We drove straight there. Those were the days when we were able to drive after dark, and we kind of enjoyed driving the RV after dark. I'm going to put this maybe right there. I really don't want to cover up that flower though. Let's do it this way. Put it down there. By the end of this, we may not remember that that's a sunflower. That gets me the gold points. I actually pulled a piece. I cut out a gold frame for yesterday's layout, and this was the inside of the gold frame. Okay, there was something else on here that I especially liked. This airplane I thought would be good, but it's kind of too big. And the little luggage, I'm not, I think I'll leave that intact. Here is one that says, travel, explore, live. Couldn't agree with that statement more. There's this that has, it's got a frame and this US map. And I think I want to use that in conjunction with the title down here. But I don't know. I am going to use this. Oh, do I really want to use that lighthouse? I have some photos of the lighthouse where we used to live in Texas on Clear Lake, which feeds into Galveston Bay. And I think I'll use it. I'll save the lighthouse for that. I'm going to use the cactus though. I'm going to put the cactus maybe right here in front of where I think a gnome can be standing in front of some cactus and beside some toadstools, don't you? I like it because it's kind of a contrasting green, and it kind of fits right in there with that. Or it doesn't. You know, you won't find cactus where you find these tropical leaves unless at my house where I try to grow both of them. And I'm always adjusting microclimates to suit one or the other thing. I like Yes Please. I like that sticker. I don't like the way that kind of dips and stuff. So let me put this right here. And that's my problem in that I cut that too short, so I'm not gonna make the same mistake on this one. I made the mistake of not putting my hair back in a ponytail, and so I'm kind of possibly including, or I'm having to work not to include hair on my layout, which is gross. Okay. Now, I've got this tiny little teal heart, which kind of appeals to me. Maybe up here in the sky. I'm going to put that aside. Now, part of what I want to do for the title down here, I want it to say Discover Home. And I have this word, or this set of stickers that says Discover. I hadn't opened this one. I had 2 or 3 of these, and I know I have one that's open, but I think I've used the word Discover on it. So I'm going to have Discover in this, but I'm going to use these alphas on here for the word home. So now I have to find the letters. G, and so an H should be right in here. And they'll be with maps. They'll be made of maps. So I'm gonna put that there and line it up on this bottom line. So in traveling around the universe, we were discovering home. And I'm going to outline, because these have no dimension, I'm going to outline them with my black pen. So now let me look for an M. This is so cool the way they did this. This is Getaway by Echo Park. And then let's look for an E. There's an E right here. I love all these travel-related sticker sheets, and I'm glad that Adam and I decided to go with those. He and I had similar sticker sheets, but no two exactly alike. I like this Bon Voyage that I think can go on here, and I'm going to overlap it on the title so it kind of becomes part of the title. Okay, that's the last of my sticker sheets, and like I said, I don't think there's anything else in my papers. It's a newly formed kit, so I don't really have anything. The one I did thought I might intend to use was this yellow dot. I thought maybe I'd back the gnome house in it, but when I tried it back behind the gnome house, it kind of lost a little of the, I think a solid color was better for that. Okay, so now I'm going to pull my word Discover and drape it around Home. And then the rest of it's going to be adding Calvinball points, and I will maybe do a few that are kind of handy. And then for others where I actually have to check the list and make sure I have everything, I may just do those off camera. I kind of assume that you're maybe not interested in exactly the pains that I take to get all those points. And I am by no means the leader right now. I'm trying a little bit different approach this time. I want that to kind of arch there. And then let me get the dot. Okay, and I've got a little tiny gold star here that can maybe be part of that little group. I didn't intend to overlap the heart with it. I don't like it there. Let's maybe put it here. Okay, and now I'm going to put that off to the side and look for some other things. I have a gnome from Fernwood around here somewhere. Here we go. He's a chipboard gnome, and I thought I could put him here I didn't actually know that that was going to be there. And I don't want it dead center on it, so I'm going to add a couple more layers of foam if I have to, and put it off to the side. I'm going to put it maybe here. There we go. And then I will stamp a toadstool and color it and put it right there. So now I'm going to stamp my duck. The only duck that I have in my collection is this stamp, and so I try to make the duck different every time I do it. And I'm trying to get some, I'm doing it on some black and white spotted paper. And I wanted to maximize the number of black dots that show. And then I'm going to kind of cut it out. And that's appropriate because the house we were going to, we had designed a pool, and we kind of supervised the construction of the pool. We had to find a company that would build our design, and our design included a stone slide, not one of the plastic ones that we had seen in a lot of pools. We kind of wanted something permanent, and we found a company that did it and pretty much did our design. We kind of turned it because of the orientation of some trees, but it ended up being really cute, cute, beautiful. And my little duck is cute. So I'm going to kind of scooch the duck down in here. Actually, I have something else. I need a frame, and so I've got this little, it's too bad I don't need a bird because there's a bird on this frame. I thought maybe I could do, I cut this out. At some point in the game, I'm sure birds and feathers will be part of the game, but right now they're not. But the frame is, I'm going to go ahead and use the frame. I'm going to kind of do that, and then I'm going to have the elephant coming through the frame. And what gave me that idea was they kind of fell that way. On the tray. Let's see if I can even do this now that I've glued that down. That may not be doable. Here we go. I want to put the elephant's feet kind of coming through like that. There we go. And everything's there we go. And the reason that I think that's kind of cool by the itinerary sign is because it's, the elephant's clearly going somewhere. And maybe he's going with our little stamped duck. So we'll kind of tuck him in there. And maybe somewhere along the line, somebody will see a rainbow. And I've got this little rainbow that I thought might be cute right there. There's nothing that says we can't decorate the outside of our house. These are washi tape pineapples. They're stickers made of washi. And until I bought these, I had no idea. They're meant for planner stickers. But I kind of thought they were cute. And there's a spot right over here that one of them can go. I pulled out a couple to use, but I may only use this one because they are a pain to get placed. Okay, there's my pineapple. I think that's the last one that's the only one I'm gonna use. I need a cloud, and I have this cloud shape, and it's cut out of grid paper, but I have grid paper as a background. I kind of like this cloud because it's kind of the ultimate travel symbol of kind of being up in the air and seeing the world and going places. Let me kind of get that under the butterfly wings, and while I'm at it, I think I can probably turn those wings up, give that some dimension. So that kind of, I like the that guy there. So I'll save that cloud for something else. I have a speech bubble here, and the bottom of it is cut off. So when I tuck it down here, it's going to lose its identity as a speech bubble. But you and I will know it's there. We'll know that it started out as a speech bubble, but the arrow thingy got cut off. But that doesn't mean it's not a speech bubble and that I can't use it, right? It really looks like just a bit of color right there. So I'm going to use it anyway. Blue and yellow together. I discovered and enamel dots. I discovered I have no yellow enamel dots other than these kind of fuzzy things that were part of a card project I did a while back. So I'm going to use a couple blues and one of these yellows, and I would say these go back to like 2011, and I don't know if they'll stick without a dab of glue, so I will do that. And of course I have yellow and blue throughout, but I kind of thought this would be cute here anyway. I need washi tape. Now this is washi tape, so that's all I'm going to do. I need a bee, and I've got this little bee right here, so that's what I'll put up there in that little grouping. I need a mouse and a birthday themed thing, and we did a lot of traveling on our birthdays, so why not have a little stamped mouse to commemorate that, right? Just a silly little mouse. That little mouse is going to get a lot of mileage, this Calvinball, because I need mice. Okay, I have this silver star that I'm just going to find someplace to put it, maybe right there. That gets me my silver. I didn't use that large airplane, so I've got this much smaller one. And I thought I might put it down here in the title area. Maybe there, looking like it's heading towards discovery. I need a musical symbol, and I need to remember that I need a some mushrooms right there. I've got this musical symbol, have no idea where it came from, and I honestly don't know how it goes. Gosh, it's been so long since I read music, and it doesn't matter if I put it on wrong, right? And maybe Discover Home is a song. I'll bet if I Googled it, I'd find a song called Discover Home, and I'd probably like it. So I'm going to put that there. And I think I'm ready to stamp and color a mushroom. So I've got this little guy right here, and I'm going to find some paper that is white on one side in my scrap pile here. Ooh, but it would be cute on this but I need to color it. So I'm going to stamp it on here. Where is my stamp block? I'm going to go there, and I'm also going to stamp a hedgehog. And the hedgehog I'm not going to color, so I may actually stamp it on the page. So let's color this guy. I'm going to color it with this hot pink color. Just this top part, and I'm sure you'd rather spend your time doing something else besides watching me color something with a marker. But I will tell you that this little scenario with the toadstools and the hedgehogs with those Rosie Studio stamps will be the last that I'm going to do of finding Calvinball points, but I will go find some more and add them, so when you see this posted, it'll have a little bit more on it than what you're seeing now. And this isn't too bad. I'm only using the one color for it, so it shouldn't be too bad to cut out. I knew that this one was going to get pretty, you know, I knew that the sketch looks very minimal, and that by the time I was done with it, it wasn't going to be minimal. But I think I kind of started in the spirit of the sketch, and the design of having the row across and then the title kind of down in the corner has been, that design criteria has been met. Oh, look how cute the little shape is with the dots. Can you see that? There. Sorry about that. I'm going to put that right there, maybe. And I have some small, puffy toadstools that I'm going to add to there. These are from Fernwood, and put that there, and then a tall one. I'm actually going to do something here that I usually don't do. I'm going to take the foam off the back. It stayed on the cut file. So I'm just going to put a little glue back there and kind of tuck it there right where it was, but kind of flat on the ground, so that this toadstool can kind of hold that down. And then I've got another one right here. I'm not happy with that. There's a little grouping together of those, and they're around that. And I wish I had had a red marker and thought to use that. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to take up the toadstools. I'm going to put them back in the package, and I'm going to use something else there. Well, actually, you know, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my okay, I know I want to stamp it right there. So I'm going to take this up. Actually, I'm going to lift it up. It'd be nice to actually plan things out ahead of time and know what I'm going to do. But what fun would that be? Okay, this is not going to really... I'm going to have to re-ink that in a minute. But there we go. And I think I moved it, so, oh no, it actually came out okay. But I've got this line right here, but that's okay because the mushroom's going to cover that, right? Okay, there. And now, maybe one little mushroom beside that one that the little guy can be sniffing around. How's that? Have to make a story. There we go. Oops. And now, because I've messed with it so many times, it doesn't stick. I'm going to put a little glue, and then I'm going to call it quits and kind of tell you okay, and that needs to be pressed down a bit. Okay. I'll go through my list, and this is the list, and I'll add on. I know I don't have any ribbon on there, and I have a bit of ribbon here, so I'll figure a place to put the ribbon. I know that I want something special here for the doorknob. Don't know what that's going to be. I'll see if I can have it count for some points. But, and I don't have my sequins and my avocado on there yet. And these are the sequins I'm going to use. And I probably will do a little bed of sequins to go between the mouse and the gnome here. But I may do a different mix of green and then just add one avocado because I'm running dangerously low on my guac it real good sequins. So, and I'm going to outline these letters in my ink pen, and then I'll be done, and I'll post it in the group tomorrow. Okay, I got some ink on there from the block. So thank you for watching, and I hope this has inspired you to pursue craziness, you know, discover home by going away from home, and scrap backwards. So why not? Bye.